Welcome to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast, the show where compassion meets prosperity. I'm Paul Tembane alongside my beautiful wife, Joan, and we're honored to be your host today. Together, we built a home care agency from a $12,000 credit card loan. Some folks call it a gamble. We built it from there to an 8-figure business serving thousands of families over the years. And now we're here to share the lessons, strategies, and mindset shifts that helped us get there so that you, the audience, can also learn from it and benefit from it.
Yeah, so we launched this podcast because many folks in the industry, be them clients or consumers of our services, or some in the industry for that matter of fact, don't quite understand what it is that we do. Okay, the industry is often misunderstood. Too many people don't see the sacrifices that the owners and their caregivers make every single day, or the powerful impact that these agencies have on seniors and their communities. And truthfully, we looked around and realized that there was hardly any podcast out there shining the light on the amazing work that the home care agency providers like us and you, Chris and Judy, do to just serve the community. So we are here. We just felt called to shine a light on our industry.
This podcast is designed for the purpose-driven provider. For those of you who feel called to care, but also want to build a thriving, sustainable business out of it. Each week, we're going to share real life stories, proven strategies, and powerful mindset shifts that will help you move from just surviving to truly thriving, because that's what it's all about.
Yeah. In fact, our tagline says it best. Compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. And here on the Home Care Millionaire Podcast, we are going to show you how to embrace both.
So get ready for inspiration, practical insights, and encouragement you need to build wealth, impact lives, and create a legacy through your agency. So hit subscribe. Join us on this journey to transform your business, your mindset, and your future. Welcome to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. Now today, Joan and I are honored. Such a pleasure to really welcome good friends of ours, Chris and Judy. They're fellow home care owners, have been serving clients in their community for many years. And they serve from the heart. They're good people. They have a lot to share. They've built a great business out of it. And we just admire them taking the time really out of the very busy day, I might add, to join us here today.
So we are excited for you to hear their story and the wisdom that they're going to share with all of us today. So without further ado, let's welcome Judy and Chris to the Home Care Millionaire Podcast.
Judy, Chris, welcome. Good morning. Yes. Please share a little bit about yourself, maybe your story, and we'll go from there.
Good morning. Well,
hi, how are you guys?
Excellent.
I got chills during that introduction. I love that you're called and that you are a purpose-driven business. I don't know how many times a day my staff has to hear us say that we are a purpose-driven business. Everything, the litmus test with us is, does it honor the client? Does it honor the caregiver? Since Chris and I got together, everything has just been blessed. Everything has taken off. But I originally started the company as a single mom with 2 kids. And honestly, it was just a word from God. But since Chris and I have been together, we have been a dynamic duo, a team in every sense of the word. And it's really been a blessing to share ideas, share decisions, just be able to help so many people. And so I guess how I got into this, I'll give you the Reader's Digest version.
Have at it. Anyhow you want to do it, please.
I basically was raised by my grandparents and blessed to have that opportunity. My grandpa was a World War II vet, so an older generation of grandparents. My grandma taught me, the old school way, how to sew, how to cook, My grandpa was a general contractor. I followed him around like a puppy, but basically he had a series of cancers and all kinds of things. And as a teenager, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So when, as an adult looking back, I didn't realize that it wasn't normal to understand how to navigate a hospital, to understand medical terms, to how to advocate for people. But when I was 22, I was working as a construction project manager. So the skills that he gave me as a young age launched me into a career that you don't know what you don't know, right? So he prepared me for a career, but fast forward, my father-in-law at the time suffered a massive stroke. So the stroke rendered him paralyzed.
Oh, jeez.
He was the primary caregiver to my mother-in-law, who had a rare form of Parkinson's called progressive supranuclear palsy. So at the time, I didn't know anything about Parkinson's. I didn't know anything about strokes. They ended up moving into our home. So I ended up, having to surrender my job and caring for somebody that was paralyzed and somebody with a rare form of Parkinson's. And the home health nurses came in and trained me. And instead of, the doctor thought that maybe my father-in-law would live for a year, he lived for 7 years.
Whoa.
So financially planning for someone to live for a year versus 7 years is quite a difference. I didn't know what a Hoyer lift was. I didn't know what a conservatorship was. I didn't know what a power of attorney was. Wow. So we got a crash course in life at a very, very young age. We had to hire attorneys. We had to navigate a labyrinth of legal proceedings. I had 2 kids during that season of life. And a blessing is a blessing, no matter what storm you're in. And, God met me at where we were at in that moment. And, and you wonder, why are we going through this season and what is the purpose in this season? And then when that chapter closed, I really looked back. My grandparents had passed away. Then eventually my in-laws had passed away. And then eventually I found it cathartic to help other people.
Wow.
Somebody from church, somebody from work would say, oh my gosh, my mom's in a nursing home and I don't know how to talk to the staff. I don't know how to get them to help my mom. Or my dad just had a stroke, or somebody from church, or I would end up serving at church or helping in some way, and it would help to heal my heart. So over the years, I started transitioning into service. As much as I could, I transitioned into service. I'm a hard worker. I went to school. That's how I met Sarah Bridgewater. She's an owner. You know her from, she's another.
Right.
So, just working constantly. But, I was in construction. I'm a construction project manager. I'm a real estate broker.
Wow.
Everything I was doing, I was trying to find purpose in everything I was doing. And not so much building things or helping people sell things, but helping people was helping me.
Wow.
So for approximately 10 years, I called Mary Lou Capuzzi and kept asking her, so how would somebody like me ever get to buy a franchise? What would I have to do? And I took notes and I studied and I tried to figure out what would it take. And all of a sudden, COVID hit.
Oh, boy.
All my kids, my son was ready to swim at state in California. My daughter was supposed to compete in high school at a varsity event. Everything got shut down.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, where are we at? What's the purpose? And again, at this point, it was me, 2 kids, no family. And God just gave me a word and he's like, this is it, Montana.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So I'm living in Southern California, single mom, 2 kids. And I researched all over, and a cousin of mine actually messaged me. She's like, have you looked into Helena, Montana? Montana has a huge scarcity of medical providers, anywhere from caregivers all the way up to your highest trained surgeons.
Okay.
And there's a higher density population of veterans and seniors.
Okay. Wow.
Even though it is a larger state with not a lot of population.
Yes.
There's just not a lot of providers, which increases the scarcity. But, I really had to pitch it to visiting angels and prove to them that I could do it. So it was a new territory, not an existing business.
Wow.
And we went for it all in. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Wow.
And, fast forward, we've helped thousands of families.
There you go. That's it.
Wow.
That's the praise report right there.
Wow.
And now Chris and I get to do it together.
Yes. Awesome. What a story.
I'm telling you.
What a story. Wow.
Very inspiring.
Yeah.
Wow. That is great. Wow. This is wow. Jeez. So you got that word, and you listened to the word, and God said, go to Montana, and you took off and went, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
And of course, that led you to Chris, of course. And, what a great partnership. What a great partnership.
Well, God was nice enough to just, plant me in Montana originally. So I've just stayed here.
You wait for him. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, he always promised me a firefighter, right? So,
Yes. Wow. And I think I sort of see the service culture in there too, because Chris came from a service culture too, being a firefighter. I'm not serving people right there.
Absolutely.
And of course, Judy had been doing that all along. It seems like, isn't it?
Yeah, we all. I think that's something that we both have. The biggest thing we have in common is that we wanted to serve, and that the majority of my career, my life has been firefighting, search and rescue, the ambulance, all kinds of different things that way. And so, I've done real estate. I've gotten into a bunch of different things as well. I've done some construction.
Okay.
But when me and Judy met, it was the right time for us to work together, and she needed a little bit of help with some of the things at Visiting Angels, and she had a home. She has a business that sells durable medical equipment. She needed a lot of help with that, so I wanted to help her. I wasn't fighting fire anymore. I'd left that job, and so here we are. I had no idea that I'd go from being a firefighter to selling wheelchairs and helping people in a different capacity. But it's been a really exciting. So just building the team and working on our leadership so that we can make this business better for everyone.
Yes. Wow. We applaud you guys. That's and interestingly, Judy and Chris, that's why we do this. That's why we have this show, because a lot of folks don't know. You guys came from varied backgrounds, all service related, I might add. But it's about service, because what we do is about service. I know you guys have been in for many years now. What does it? What challenges have you guys been through? I know. Starting from scratch. We were, Joan and I also started from scratch. So we didn't buy an existing. We later on bought existing ones, but then we started from scratch. So how was it? How was the journey for you guys? How was it, especially in new territory, new state? I might add, you guys were, because I know that Judy was out of California. You came and met Chris in Montana. But starting, how was it for you guys? You mind sharing that part of your story?
Yeah, the one thing is that we don't operate a factory where we can look out over the floor and watch everybody. And trust has to be earned, right? But you hire somebody and you have a good feeling. They pass the background check, the drug test. You hope for the best. And you really don't know. And then you're going to send them into somebody's home. And I want to know, would I trust them with my grandma? Would I trust them with my kids? Is this somebody that I have a really good gut feeling with? And you know what? I've been wrong. And I hate to say that. People have fooled me. And, I've hired and interviewed thousands of people over the years between construction and visiting angels. And you think, I'm good at this by now. So I can't be too hard on my staff, but I want to say we try really hard. And I tell my team, in order to be the best, you have to have the best standards, And we can't,
I agree 100%.
You can't just, we'll just play catch up we'll finish the background check within a few weeks. No, we have to have these standards. We're always saying we're relational, we're not transactional. I want to be in relationship with my caregivers and my clients. We're not a show up. We really do care. We meet our clients where they're at. We work with them at their pace. You know, if we are who we say we are and there's purpose behind everything that we do, then we're not going to rush through this. We genuinely care about you. And when we say, how are you? We're going to wait and actually talk and actually see how you're doing, you know, to go the extra mile. So, and I tell my clients when I first meet with them, we are an organization of human beings and we will make mistakes. But the reason why we have a good reputation is because we are quick to fix them. We are available. We communicate, and we will take care of any concerns or any questions, anything that you have, we will take care of it. I'm not going to promise the moon and fall short.
No,
you can't be,
you're right.
You know, purpose-driven and profit-driven. If you are purpose-driven, the money will come.
100%.
Your bills will be
100%.
paid. Everything will come through.
100%.
You know,
100%.
if you only worry about the profit, your priorities are in the wrong place.
I agree.
But when you put the people and the purpose first, everything else comes. The money comes.
Absolutely, Judy. And that's why we came up with this name, the Home Care Millionaire, because sometimes people coming into the industry are looking at dollars, right? I'm going to be the millionaire through home care. They're looking at the dollars, but we want to have them see the other side. The most important side of it is, which is what you just said. You have to have that compassion, that service, those standards to make sure that you're providing the level of care to your clients that you are proud of, that will make a difference in their lives. And that is when the money will come. So thank you for having that view as well.
Yeah. I want to just add also, Judy and Chris, that that's why we signed up with Visiting Angels to begin with, you know, from the get-go. I mean, 23 years plus now that when we did it, because Joan asked one of the owners back then, Jeffrey, he said, well, I mean, is this going to be worth it for us? Because she was leaving. We're both in the corporate world at that time, and Joan was leaving her job to go in here full time. I just lost my job, and I did not want to go back to work. I kind of wanted to grow this, and so she was like, she asked Jeffrey. Jeffrey used to be Larry's partner. He said, Jeffrey, can we really make money of this? Is this going to be able to work out for us? You know what Jeffrey told Joan and I? He said, if you do the work, if you care enough, the money will come. Just the point you're talking here. I mean, it's about caring. It's about, and like Joan said, and I think you've said the same thing. A lot of times, folks go in for the wrong reasons, you know, and you can kind of tell these people they're going for. You gotta have, and that's why I so much admire your background, because you guys come up from a service first mentality. You know, people see that. They can see that. I mean, I tell, and we always tell people that, listen, you can't work for free. I mean, you know, not legally, you can't do it. So you're gonna get paid some kind of way, you know, but going for the right reasons, going because you care enough to want to make someone's life better. That you've been there.
I think the biggest part of that, though, is actually having a work ethic. You know, I mean,
there you go.
Me and Judy did not start in Visiting Angels or in home care. You know, we started in other ways, and
that's right.
Well, you can't work for free, but sometimes you get paid in a lot of other ways other than money.
That's true. I agree. 100%.
You know, when I was real young, I mean, it wasn't uncommon to do jobs to be able to get, you know, eggs from the farm down the road or something.
There you go.
And we do what we needed to do, swap jobs, working on cars and tractors and doing other stuff. But if you're truly willing to work at something, that's the number one thing that I've learned out of the podcast that I've been on, the podcast that I've listened to, is all the people that are successful have to truly be willing to work. You don't just make money, and you don't just live a wonderful life if you're not willing to put the effort out there.
That's it.
We can talk about how great things are, but nobody ever talks about how horrible it was when we first started. You would lost your job. You know, Judy had to move all the way from California up here, and you know,
the best decision I ever made. But you know,
there you go.
Coming on a hope and a prayer that something good was going to come out of it. Nothing would have come out of it if she wasn't willing to work hard enough to make it happen. So 100%. For any of us, that And then the caring part, not everybody, it's really hard to teach people how to care. So if they don't have it in their hearts to do it in the first place, this isn't the right business for them.
I agree.
Because you'll build a terrible reputation that you're just there for the money.
Yes.
It is a business, so of course you're making money. It's a business. But if you don't care about the people that you're taking care of, then you're not going to have a very good business model.
Exactly. No, 100%, Chris, 100%. Joan, did you want to add to that?
No, I was just going to say to Chris's point, what is money? It's an exchange, right?
Yeah.
Of value. So the value that you bring through service, that is how you get the money. So just to add to your point, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. Everyone's story is so unique. We've talked to a bunch of people thus far, and everyone's story is so unique. I mean, you know, we come at this from different points of view, if you will, right? I mean, you know, and Chris talked about his background and help. We just come at it from different, but you know, to me, the main thing at the end of the day is just that service part. I mean, I talk about it because to me, I think it's what this is all about, really. You know, if you care enough, what I think whatever her name, I forget the poet who wrote she had a saying that people don't care how much you know, they care how much they care how much you care. You know, they don't care how much you know. They care how much you care. I mean, if you care enough, you know, and I think that, you know, and especially in what we do, it's so important. I mean, you know, for us to really come across that way, because, I mean, and when we're happy, and I'm sure you guys do the same thing, you want folks who care. I mean, if they all are going to talk about is the money, to me, I'm like, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's not a fit for us. It's not our person, right? I mean,
it's not our person.
Yeah. There you go. You know, we learned this from another owner. He said, is it my people? You know, are they my people? You know, do they see things from that vantage point? And that's what this is all about. This is what it is. So thank you.
Well, I think what really transcends is if we are invested and purpose-driven, then we are subject matter experts in our field. We are community leaders. Our clients, our team leads, everybody knows that we are subject matter experts in Parkinson's, in dementia, you know, in ALS. We know the DME. We know best standards, you know, best practices. We can teach and, you know, engage with all of our families, with all of our caregivers. You know, we're not just remote owners. We're here to engage and train. And that goes a long way, you know, that we've been there. Yes.
That's great. That's great.
But you don't get there without working hard to learn all of those things. So
100%.
Like you guys said, if they're always asking for more money or something, they are not your people. They need to work to make it so that they're worth more, so that they can do more. You know, I can tell you how many times that I've had 2 or 3 jobs at the same time, trying to work to make ends meet to get everything done.
That's right.
And, you know, sometimes you don't get everything you want, but eventually, you know, it'll come if you have patience and you're willing to work for it. But a lot of people struggle with that. They want it right now, but they won't put the effort into it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. You want to go ahead?
So, Chris and Judy, beyond providing this excellent care, the expertise that you're known for in your community, what do you believe is the single most important factor that has contributed to your growth, you know, to your financial success, to the success of your agency, the impact that you have in your community?
Really, I think the concept of pouring into our clients and our caregivers, not being profit-driven, but purpose-driven, managing our reputation, you know, how we care for people, not worried about overnight success. You know, we're growing in a controlled manner, in a steady manner. We did have 100% growth between our second and third year.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
That caused me some gray hair. But there were some definite lessons learned there. But, you know, putting the right people in the right places, but really managing that mantra of being the purpose-driven business is critical. I want to be known for excellence, not for growth. You know, that's really important to me. I'd rather have an excellent reputation than be known as like the largest home care agency in Montana. You know, employees, they need to pay their bills, you know, they need to be trained, but really they need to be appreciated more than anything. They need to be appreciated. So going the extra mile to make sure that each and every employee feels valued is really important to me.
Good
so
deal.
We spend a lot
Good
of
deal.
time on that.
Reputation is a big deal.
It is.
Montana is the 4th largest state, but we have the 2nd smallest population. So the mouth is a big deal around here.
Tell me about it. Oh yeah.
Somebody's related to somebody. Somebody knows somewhere. You know, I mean, we're in our state's capital, but we don't even have 50,000 people in the whole city. You know, so
really.
Wow. We're talking about small. Our largest city is Billings, which is, I think, about 140,000 people for the largest city. So it doesn't take very long for you to make a mistake for the entire city to find out.
Yeah, to get around. Yeah.
Many communities that are, you know, less than 2,000 people, all that. And so you just have to really be honest and stick to your standards. And that's the only way you can maintain your reputation. So, and sometimes no matter what you do, somebody's not going to be happy, but that's the way life goes. But if you stick with it, and try to be the same person every single day, only getting better, then you can maintain that reputation.
100%. No, I'm with you 100%. I mean, you know, really, it makes so much. What you're saying makes so much sense. I mean, you know, you just gotta be true to yourself, true to your calling, true to what you are. And like you said, I think the most important thing you guys said earlier, I know Judy mentioned that, was that treat every client as if they were your family member, grandma or grandpa, right? I mean, you know, that. I mean, once we do that, that's. I mean, you know, we've done our best right there. So, the reputation, I agree with you 100%. You know, and taking care of our people, to our caregivers, boy, that's the way to go. Let me just ask you guys this: has your perspective on providing care to seniors evolved, or how has your perspective providing care to seniors evolved since you started? I know it's been several years now, and how has that changed, maybe, or influenced your model, your business model that you operate with right now?
You know, it's an interesting question, because when I first got into this industry, I envisioned senior care more like my grandparents, the World War II, you know, Korean era, you know, generation. But the reality is that the seniors that we're caring for are, you know, much younger. They're much younger. We're at the tail end of the baby boomers at this point. You know, the seniors that we're caring for are much more evolved, less conservative. You know, they're on their iPads. You know, early on, I had some clients that did not want to do a docu, but now more and more they're on our online platform. They want to do a DocuSign. They're emailing. They have tattoos and colored hair. I was concerned about, you know, hiring a caregiver with tattoos and colored hair. Like, they wouldn't be accepted into, you know, an elder's home, right? But it's a very we're serving a very diverse group of clients now, because this is a diverse population that is aged, right?
Yes.
You know, and they're, you know, so I guess that's been it's been a learning curve for me, you know. So I'm like, okay, maybe the world is ready for DocuSign and all kinds of other things. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And, so it's been an education on my part every day. You know what I mean? The day I stop learning things, then I'm in trouble.
That's right.
I hear you. That's hey, Judy and Chris, that's for all of us. Let me tell you, we're learning every day. You're right. I mean, the changes are happening so fast that you gotta stay on top of things. You're absolutely right.
Right.
You gotta. Yep. Absolutely. You have a question for another question?
Yeah. So, thank you so much, Chris and Judy, for sharing your journey and your purpose-driven emphasis for your agency. For someone who is starting out now, trying to start a home care agency, what is one piece of advice you could share with them, with our audience, right, to help them avoid some of the common pitfalls in the industry?
So to start out, I think you need to have a strong support system. I think you really have to do your homework. And this is not an industry that you get into right off the bat for profit. I think you really have to have 2 to 3 years. If you're single, you have to have 2 to 3 years of salary tucked away. And if you have a partner, you really have to have a solid foundation, because to get this business successful and off the ground, it's going to take nights and weekends and all your days and all, everything you have. And you're going to go through a lot of schedulers and a lot of people in the office and a lot of caregivers. And you have to forgive yourself.
That's right. That's right.
It's just going to take a lot, and you're going to do it because your clients are worth it.
There you go.
As long as you have your priorities in order, it's going to be worth it. But if you have profit or you need a salary, your priorities will not be in order, and it, you're going to throw in the towel. So, and you got to get through the first 3 years.
Yes, I agree.
Awesome.
I think it goes back to the work ethic.
Yes.
Yeah. You really have to be ready to work every single day, all day, and sometimes all night.
Wow.
A buddy of mine has a quote that if you want to be rich and wealthy and all of that, then you only want to work half the day. Then you have to decide which 12 hours of the day you want to work.
There you go. There you go. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, when we started, actually, there was some owners who didn't think they had to work on weekends. So it was just Monday through Friday. Yep. But the nature of the business is such that it's 24/7.
Correct.
We care for clients around the clock, right? Yep. So thank you for painting that picture, given that they need that structure to help them, because things get thrown at you from so many different angles. If you don't have a structure, you can easily give up, just lose hope. So that support system, it's very important. And maybe it's family, maybe it's a coach, maybe it's, if you're a franchisee, maybe your franchisor. That's really important. Thank you.
Yeah. I think we're coming to the end of it here, Chris and Judy. I'm going to just ask one more question here, and then we'll ask you for your final thoughts. Maybe we'll miss some certain things you wanted to kind of share with the audience here. We'll ask for that as well. I want to just ask, looking back at your entire journey, what is the most rewarding aspect of being a home care owner? I imagine that with your background in service, there's got to be some things in there. So what is the most rewarding part of doing what we do, serving the clients that we serve?
Well, definitely it's, for me, when a thank you comes from out of the blue, a client or somebody will just kind of get choked up and say, thank you so much for doing what you do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for knowing what I'm going through today and meeting me where I'm at. You want to be heard. When you go through a journey like that, the grief starts with diagnosis. When you hear the diagnosis, and a lot of people feel isolated and alone. But when you can meet a client where they're at with that initial diagnosis, they don't feel so alone. They feel supported. To be known and heard, and to kind of guide our clients along that whole journey. And then we have caregivers that have been promoted over the years, received raises. Yes. They'll call me and say, oh my gosh, Judy, I just bought my brand new first car.
Oh, wow.
I just got my very first apartment.
Oh, wow.
They are overjoyed. Wow. And that's all this is the best job they've ever had. They say, I love working here.
See that?
And wow. I played a very small part. They just had the confidence to do what they did and love on their clients.
Wow.
And I tell the caregivers, if you love on your clients, then, I'll do anything I can for you.
There you go. That's it. That's
the purpose you were talking about earlier, Judy. That's the purpose. Purpose driven.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I know that from my former career and everything like that into home care, that just knowing that you did the best you could in a bad situation, People go through all kinds of things. The stuff that I saw when I was younger and things that I used to do isn't that much different from now. Like Judy said, the diagnosis or the accident or whatever it was that got them to where they are today, knowing that we are able to step in and do whatever it is that we can to make their life better. In the end, give them the best opportunity to stay at home and be truly happy and enjoy as much of their life as they possibly can. It makes a huge difference,
Yeah.
No, that is so powerful. That's so powerful. Any closing thoughts, Judy and Chris? I mean, maybe, I don't know if we missed something that you wanted really to share with our audience here. Any
I just want to say thanks to you guys for inviting us on and putting this all together. You guys are a pretty powerful couple yourselves, and it's been awesome since we met you. And
thank you.
I really enjoy every time we get together and get to see each other. And I'm sure we're going to see you here in a few months.
Yes. Looking forward to it. Well,
I just want to echo that, and I love the inspiration of your podcast, and
Thank you.
Also for owners, we're always pouring into other people. In addition to this podcast, I just think it's so important for us to find a support system for others to pour into us so that we don't find ourselves empty and isolated. So this podcast is part of this. Connecting with other owners is part of that. So I just applaud you guys for initiating this and making this happen. So thank you again for letting us be a part of this.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Judy. Thank you, Chris. I like what you said. I mean, you can't really pour from an empty cup, can you? It's good to fill our cup so we can then be able to serve others, as it were. Thank you again so much. We love you guys. We respect you guys. We appreciate you guys. Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Great friends of ours, and keep doing the good work you guys are doing, because it's because of people like you that folks get promoted. Folks live longer. Okay, folks feel like they're someone cares. It's because of the work you do. We all do that. But it's folks like the heart you have, I mean, that is what people look up, and really it lifts their days. I mean, that's what it does. I mean, and so thank you for willing to share your story with us and our audience here today. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Home Care Millionaire Podcast. We hope you found inspiration, encouragement, and practical tools you can apply right away in your own journey. Our mission is simple, folks: to shine a light on the incredible impact that home care owners and their caregivers make every single day, and to give you the mindset, strategies, and faith-filled wisdom to build both purpose and prosperity.
Because here is what we believe: compassion is your calling, wealth is your reward. If this episode spoke to you, we'd love for you to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you like more resources or have questions for Paul and I, just head over to askjoanandpaul.com. We'll be honored to connect with you there.
Until next time, folks, remember, you have what it takes to build wealth, create freedom, and leave a legacy through your agency. We're here cheering you on every step of the way. Bye for now.